If you look in your notes itself, there is this pyramid there that's called the conscious competence learning theory. Okay, what this is, it's the 4 stages of learning. That means we are human beings, everything that we know is a learned process. Everything that we know is a learned process, and everything that we have learned has gone through these 4 stages. Right? Stage 1 means unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence means I don't know what I don't know. All right? When you don't know what you don't know, you can never learn because there's no value to learning it. All right? And that's why I mentioned just now, all learning begins with self-awareness. You must be aware of what you're good at and what you're not good at so that you can improve on all the things that you're weak at. All right? At stage 1, there is a lack of self-awareness. There is no value attached to learning something new. Learning only begins at stage 2. Stage 2 is conscious incompetence, meaning I now know what I don't know. Learning begins here because during stage 2, you do a self-analysis to see if there is value in learning this new skill, and then you start strategizing what must you do to learn this new skill. Stage 2, it's normally the toughest stage because again, stage 2 is when you're coming out of your comfort zone to do something that you're not used to doing. For example, when you first join in this industry, what's difficult is going out and just prospecting with people because you have not mastered the art of prospecting yet. So it's coming out of your comfort zone. At stage 2, it's normally when people doubt themselves the most. Okay, it's when they feel they're not cut out for it, they will never be good at it because it's something new. Stage 2 is when you will need someone to give you a strategy, someone to guide you, someone to teach you what to do, what not to do. All right? With enough practice, with enough repetition, you move on to stage 3. Stage 3 is known as conscious competence. Conscious competence means I now know how to do it. I now know how to do it, meaning you no longer need someone to guide you, hold your hands to show you what you need to do. You can more or less do it on your own, but it's still going to need a lot of focus. Okay, this is the time where there is a lack of focus. Guess what? The skills are not so good. When the focus is there, the skill is very good. Okay, stage 3 is when you can do it on your own, but you need a lot of focus. Stage 3 is also when if you don't practice, you can regress back to stage 2. Okay, so with enough repetition, you then move from stage 3 to stage 4. Stage 4 is known as unconscious competence. Unconscious competence is when you do without thinking. It means I now do it without thinking. It's become habitual. It's become second nature. It's in your muscle memory. Okay, you don't think about it, you just do it. For those of you here who ride a bicycle, do you really think about how to ride a bicycle, or do you just think about where you want to go to? You sit on that bicycle and it just moves. For people who drive, it's the same thing. Do you really think about driving, or do you just sit in the car and think about where you want to go and everything else just happens automatically? All right, so that's mastery. Everything that we do has to go through these 4 stages. You cannot cut stages, but you can shorten stages. How do you shorten stages? You just increase your repetition. The formula for mastery starts with repetition. Okay, the formula for mastery begins with repetition. We are creatures of habit. Everything that we do is habitual, and in order to make something habitual, we need to repeat the process over and over again. Ever heard of the saying, practice makes perfect? All right? That's the simple thing. Practice makes perfect. Problem with practice makes perfect is this. You practice doing it wrong, you make whatever is it that you're doing wrong really good. Meaning, you master doing things wrong. Okay, that's why practice makes perfect. Repetition has got to be coupled with the right strategy. Okay, you need to learn the right way of doing things, because if you continue doing things wrong, you are going to master doing it really wrong. Okay, you need to have the right strategy. Either you learn it from someone, either you learn it from a book, you watch videos, right? It doesn't matter, but you need someone to guide you in that process of how to do something right. And finally, whenever you're learning to do something new, on top of repetition, on top of having the right strategy, one of the most important things is this: you need to have a positive support system around you. Okay, you need to have a positive support system around you, simply because when you are learning to do something new, guess what is it that you're really doing? You're coming out of your comfort zone, okay, and you're doing something that you're not quite used to doing. And when you're doing something that's out of your comfort zone, what's going to happen is this: things are going to get a little bit difficult, okay, things are going to get a little bit challenging. You are going to get a little voice in your head. That is the voice of self-doubt. Okay, you're going to start asking yourself, hey, am I really cut out for this? Can I do this? You know, maybe I will never be good at this. And at this point of time, when you are having this small voice in your head, the last thing you need is people around you telling you you can't do it as well. Because that will just reinforce that message, you know. And that's the positive support system that you need. You need to put yourself in an environment wherein you don't believe in what is it that you can achieve. People around you are believing in you. And that's why I love this environment that you have created for the next 12 weeks. Because you're going to be the positive support system for each other. So if you were to look back in that example that I gave you just now with Mandy, okay, learning how to ride that bicycle, isn't it true? She had to practice, practice, practice. But practice alone wasn't enough. She had her dad there teaching her the strategy. That means what is the right way to do it. And at the same time, she had her mom there to be her positive support system. Okay? When you apply these three things, you will master any skill that you want to master. Take it from me. This is the strategy that I use till today. Okay? For anything that I want to master, I just tell myself, I need repetition, I need the right strategy, I need a positive support system. All right? Can you shorten this process? You can shorten this process simply because some people, right, don't need to repeat it that much. Okay? Because people differ from each other, right? Everyone still has to apply this formula, but some people, maybe the repetition cycle is only 5 times. Someone else, the repetition cycle is 10 times. Okay? So it does not mean I won't be able to do it. Hey, it just simply means maybe I need to repeat the process a little bit more before I get really good at it. Okay, but the formula is the same for everyone.